Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Joe here of Sports Grid. It's time for Puck It with Joe. We have 5 games on the slate today. Looking back at yesterday, I tell you, I could not believe Connor McDavid was unable to get on the board last night. Connor Bedard, though, coming out, getting that first goal of the game, really set the tempo there, but then the Blackhawks unable to do very much after that. But it was a great day yesterday. The Edmonton Oilers team total over 1.5 in that first period. It cashed so beautifully, and that was at plus 150. We also got, like Joe's saying, the Seattle Kraken able to get that win last night. So it was a great day out there on the ice. Some really phenomenal games. We also got the Sens and Carolina, both teams to score in the first period. So breaking it down, that plus money, those plus money bets coming in so nicely. James, I do like the Devils tonight. We're going to get into that one, them facing the Boston Bruins. We'll jump into that in a couple minutes, so don't go anywhere. And a shout out to you, Matt. Let's make some freaking money. The first game we're going to talk about, Michael, good afternoon to you too, is the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Now, the Pittsburgh Penguins rolling in as a favorite, minus 146 here, plus 122 for Montreal. Total 6.5. Now, the 6.5 juice to the under at minus 128. Looking at these two teams, I do think we've got the wrong team favored. I love Montreal here at home. This is a young, scrappy team, and we know they've got so many playmakers on this team. While they're young and inexperienced, they never give up in these games. This is a great live betting situation. If the Penguins go up first, we know Sidney Crosby, Riley Smith, all of their playmakers can come out phenomenally strong in that first period. If the Penguins come out with a 2-0 lead, please, I encourage you to look at those live lines, taking Montreal plus the 2.5 or whatever they're giving you on the puck line with a sprinkle on the money line. Right now, we can get them on the money line with that plus money, and I do love it. I do think Montreal has every opportunity of winning here at home. They're sitting 12-13-1 at home so far this season, and the difference maker in this game is Sam Montague in goal. I really trust in him over Jake Allen. We know he's got paid for this team, and he's been phenomenally strong. Now, he's got a 2.78 goals against average and a save percentage coming in at 0.912. Alex Nevichkovic is in net here for the Penguins. Another tongue twister of a name for me. He's got a 2.19 goals against average, a save percentage of 0.937. So he has been solid on the year. I just do think the Penguins are in a hard situation here. And yes, they're off that win over the Arizona Coyotes 4-2. And we did see Montreal lose to the Predators. It was a 2-1 loss on Sunday. The Islanders are on deck for Montreal on Saturday. The Leafs on deck for the Penguins. I just like Montreal. I like what we've seen out of them. They have won the last 3 matchups, with 2 of them going to OT. So this might be a nice opportunity for these teams to go to OT in this one. But you can look at Shane Monahan, Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield. You know Cole Caulfield is always circled for me. On the other side of the puck here for the Penguins, it's Sidney Crosby, Riley Smith. And then if you're looking at a defenseman, Erik Karlsson coming out there. So I do think he will have a strong day as well. Those block shot props are starting to come out. We do have one in the Avs game we'll get to, but first let's talk about the Boston Bruins taking on the New Jersey Devils. Now, James, you asked about this one, and I do think the Devils are the right side. They're coming in juicy, though, at minus 132 and plus 110 for the Boston Bruins. So hard not to take the value on the Boston Bruins, but I do think they're in a bad situation. Couple of key guys missing. Total of 6.5. Now, that's 6.5 plus money to the over. If the Devils win this, you guys, I don't see it being a low-scoring one, so I would lean over the 6.5 at plus 112. If you think the Devils win huge, that puck line, minus 1.5 at plus 164. Not sure if I would go there, but I do think you've got to look. Charlie McAvoy is out for the Boston Bruins. We also have Azaka out, which is huge for this team. I do think this is the letdown spot for Boston. The Islanders are on deck Friday, and then the Rangers at home on Saturday. So those back-to-backs coming up for them after tonight's game, they have off, and then it's the Islanders and the Rangers Friday and Saturday. We look at the New Jersey Devils, and they're still without Dougie Hamilton, but they have been playing a couple games without him. They're off that loss to the Oilers, which was a bad loss. It was a 4-1 loss, unable to hit Skinner hard, but they went 3-1 on that road trip. So this is the first game home off a road trip. It's a normal place I like to fade teams. I just can't fade the Devils in this situation. I think there's a couple of things you can look at if you don't want to go against the Boston Bruins, because I don't blame you for not wanting to go against the Boston Bruins. It's the Bruins. The first period over 1.5 at -122. Swayman is in net for the Boston Bruins, and Swayman's phenomenal. I'm not going to say that he is a true backup goalie, but he can be hit here by the Devils. The Devils just are so deep, and their nonstop offensive firepower is just second to none. They're coming in here averaging 32 shots on goal per game, 3.54 goals. So I think they're just never going to stop in this one. And without a couple of key members for the Boston Bruins, I think the Devils do find the back of the net. Now, looking at Boston here, we know Boston has been strong, especially in that first period. I do think they'll be able to hit Vanacek. Vanacek doesn't have the strongest numbers on the season of 3.49 goals against average and 0.879 save percentage. So with me liking the Devils, I have to like this one to be a higher scoring one because we know Boston will be able to score on them. The over 1.5 in the first period, -122. Both teams to score in the first period coming in at +168. I do think we will have a very competitive first period where both of these offenses can find the back of the net. This one is a high scoring one for me. We have seen the Boston Bruins win. Are you ready for this? 8 of the last 10 matchups and the last 6 straight. So this is going against all those trends, breaking those trends. They've also covered the puck line in 4 of the last 6 games that they've won. So they've won big. That's been in New Jersey and everything. But this New Jersey Devils team is better than I would have expected. Now, the over, this number there, we're getting 6.5 on FanDuel. There are 6s out there, so you can take that 6. The over 6.5 is +120 or +112. The 6 out there is going to be juicy at -150, -160. If you're looking for player props in this one, Jack Hughes anytime goals +140. He doesn't have the best numbers against the Boston Bruins. You know I like Timo Meier and Jasper Bratt. Tyler Toffoli, the anytime goal, I do like here at +200. We're just getting so much value. Luke Hughes, though, is a player you need to circle. Luke Hughes has been going over his points. He's got a point in 5 of the last 10 games. Not hugely great, but you're getting plus money on Luke Hughes for those points. He's coming in for the point tonight at +130. So I do like his opportunity to put a point on the board. We know how strong he is out there getting those assists. Now, if you're looking at the points here, for the Boston Bruins, David Pastrnak has been phenomenally strong. You have to take him over 1.5 points. That's coming in at +100. He's gone over 1.5 in 4 of the last 10 games. So 2+ points in that one. And Jake DeBrusk here for the point for the Boston Bruins is +100. And he also is sitting 50-50 on those points to the over. So 2 people you should circle in that one. You like the Bruins and the Devils home game hangover after a long road trip. Yeah, you're right. Some of these teams after the long road trip do have their struggles. I don't know if the Devils can afford to have those struggles here. I do think they're going to be keyed in, especially versus the Boston Bruins. They're only sitting 5-6 at home this season. We know how strong Boston is. So I wouldn't deny anyone wanting to take Boston. It's +110 on the Boston Bruins. It doesn't happen very much. Let's look at the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks are taking on, if I can find it here, the New York Islanders. Now, the Islanders are $2 favorite at -205, +168 for the Ducks. We have a total of 6.5. 6.5 juice to the under at -134, +110 to the over. Now, there are 6s out there. Again, you can shop for that 6 if you want to lay the juice. I do think this one goes over. And looking at the Islanders, this team has been allowing their goaltenders to be peppered. They've also turned themselves around, kind of being able to find the back of opponents' nets. They're averaging 3.04 goals per game this season and 29.9 shots on goal. Now, their power play is sitting 9th at 24.3%. And we look here at the Ducks. They are allowing so many opportunities for their opponents to score, allowing 31.4 shots on goal and 3.41 goals per game. John Gibson is expected in net for them. I do have a little bit of faith in John Gibson, but I don't have enough faith for him to contain the Islanders to under 3 or 4 goals in this one. I do think the Islanders come out and find success. Valamouth here is confirmed for the Islanders. Now, the problem here for Valamouth is the Islanders' defense gives him no support at all. They allow 36 shots on goal per game, 31st. Their kill isn't strong either at 73.2%. So I do think here we'll see both of these teams be able to find the back of the net. I struggle to see the Ducks have 3, but they probably do have 3. I do think this one goes over. 4-3 style game. I wouldn't take this one to the under, because we could see the Islanders go over this on their own. We know the Ducks are majorly struggling right now. So I think the Ducks lose here, and then I'll look ahead. The Ducks on Friday are facing the Rangers, and the Rangers are on their first night of a back-to-back with the Bruins on deck on Saturday. So we've seen the Ducks lose their last 3. That last game to the Jets 4-2. They're able to put 2 goals up on the Jets, who have a stronger defense than the Islanders. So they should be able to get 3 here and push us over that total. But looking at them, when they face the Rangers will be in a clear look ahead. I do think it's an opportunity for the Ducks to break that losing streak. Now, if I'm looking for players here that I'm going to bet on, I'm going to bet the over. I do think the Islanders win this. Again, the Islanders, though, on the money line, minus 205. Puck line, minus 1.5 plus 122. Don't absolutely love it. It's still the Islanders. It's not a team that I have a lot of faith in. So the over is my favorite play. Leo Carlsson here for the Ducks. You can look at his shots on goal. Like I said, the Islanders allow their goaltenders to be absolutely peppered. 3+ shots on goal for Leo Carlsson, coming in at plus 128. He's been quiet in the last 2 games, but the 2 games versus the Avs, he put up a ton of shots in those games, 5 in one and 4 in the one prior. So I do think this is a prime opportunity for him to go over 3+ shots on goal at plus 128. Now, Alex Killorn coming in at 3+ shots on goals, coming in at minus 110. Last game out, he had 6 shots on goal versus Winnipeg and 4 versus Chicago. So I do have confidence that Killorn will go over that number as well. If you're looking at points here for the Islanders, I'm looking at the points for Brock Nelson. You can take him for 2+ points in this one at plus 340. If you do think the Islanders are going to score, he could get the assist, he could get the goal, he could get 2 assists here. I do feel like Brock Nelson is a good player to circle. Bo Horvat as well, you can look at him. He's been getting the anytime point in 7 of the last 10 games. So I do think he's someone to look at here. And that's about it for this game. The Islanders have won the last 4 matchups. With the last 2 games, they were able to put up 6 and 7 goals in those 2 last games versus the Ducks. So we could see them go over this total on their own. If you're worried about the Ducks putting up their share, you can look at the Islanders team total over 3.5. I don't hate that at all. I know you guys are riding with the Bruins, the Kings, and the under. We're going to get to that. The Kings and the under, I absolutely love. The Avs, we're going to talk the Avs right away here, you guys. Let's look at the Buffalo Sabres taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now, this one I've been going back and forth with. I really have. You guys, I do think the Buffalo Sabres with Tage Thompson have been playing a lot better. Now, let's look at the odds. Minus 192 here for the Avs, plus 158 for the Sabres. Total 6.5 at minus 120 to the over, minus 1.2 to the under. Minus 1.5 here for the Avs is plus 126. Parlay piece maybe, plus 1.5 for the Sabres. You're paying minus 152. Now, Lankican and Prozisek talk is in goal for the Avs. He's got a 2.75 goals against average, and Lankican coming in here with a 2.81. The Buffalo Sabres have won the last 2 matchups. They got the shutout win back in October, 4-0 over the Avs. Georgiev was in goal. He allowed 3 goals on 28 shots on goal. And they really did. They locked down defensively. They limit the Avs' ability to get those shots on goal in that game. I think they were held to like 23 shots in that one. Looking at this matchup here, the puck line is so strong for the Sabres. They're 9-5 on the puck line. The Avs have been strong on that puck line at home, going 8-2. I'm torn which way to take this. I really could see another upset coming here for the Sabres, and I don't know why I'm feeling that. I'm just not loving what we're seeing out of the Avs as of late. I do think they're the stronger team, and they're the team that should get the win. I think I'm going to look at that first period puck line here for Colorado and then stay off the rest. Just with how I think Buffalo will keep hanging in this one. They're going to be pesky in this game, and they're not going to want to go away. They're off that win versus the Coyotes 5-2. And we have the Avs off that win versus the Flames. And that was a hard-fought battle, you guys. It was a 6-5 win versus the Flames. It was a comeback win. So I do expect the Avs to give their best in that first period. I'm worried that maybe because of that last game versus Calgary, with how high-paced, high physical it was, this could be a letdown spot for them. They're just playing a little uneven hockey at the blue line. I'm just not completely trusting this team. Now, one player I do trust is Cale Makar. His block shot market is coming up on books. You can get him over 1.5 block shots, and this is a steal at -105. He was like 2.5 everywhere last season. So I do think those block shots are coming, especially with the rate that the Buffalo Sabres are firing at. You can look at his points tonight, and I like the power play point. If you're going to play him for a power play point, that's coming in at -110. Now, Tage Thompson for the power play point tonight is coming in at +200 for the Buffalo Sabres. I like that as well. He's been getting these points in on the board with 6 of his last 10 games, getting a point or more. So, and then Rasmus Starling you could look at here for the Sabres. But I do think the Avs in the first period, this game, I think, has the opportunity of being a 1-goal game. So Avs first period, puck line, and then I'm going to stay off the rest of the game. I do think this one, even though we've got strong defenses here, is a 3-4 game. So I would take it over that total. And last but not least, you guys, we got the Winnipeg Jets taking on the LA Kings. This is going to be a phenomenal game. The Kings coming in here, starting Cam Talbot. He's got a 1.91 goals against average and a 0.931 save percentage. And the Winnipeg Jets, Connor Hellebuck expected in goal. 2.45 goals against average, a save percentage of 0.915. The Winnipeg Jets lost last night to the San Jose Sharks. They're only able to put up 1 goal on the Sharks. They allowed 2 to come in. I do think Winnipeg's going to completely struggle to score on the Kings in this game. The Winnipeg Jets team total is 2.5, taking it to the under -122. Yes, this is a team that's averaging 3.19 goals per game and 30.9 shots on goal. But we look at the Kings defensively. This Kings defense is so phenomenally strong. They're holding opponents to 2.32 goals per game and 26.9 shots on goal, which is second best overall in the league. Their kill is second in the league at 87.7%. We look at the power play here of the Jets. It's weak at 16.7%. So I look at this one as the Winnipeg Jets, even if they get that one-man advantage, I don't think they're going to be able to score on Cam Talbot. We said how strong his numbers are. The under 2.5 looks like a gift to us in this game. I think the Kings completely locked down defensively. Now, the Kings did win that last meeting back in October. They only allowed that 1 goal, so it was a 5-1 win by the LA Kings. I do think this is just, you go straight back to the well. The Kings have lost their last 2 games. The last one to the Rangers 4-1. They're going to come into this game ready to roll. I do think the Kings in the first period on that puck line, just like we're taking the Avs on the puck line in the first period, is a nice way to look. I also did another parlay. You take the Kings straight up on the money line, and then you take the under, but bump that under up. The current under we've got on the Kings. The Kings are -192, +160 for the Jets, total of 5.5. The under +100, the over -122. So I bumped up the under to under 6.5. So it's the Kings money line. Under 6.5 for this game, parlayed together, came out at +150. So I do like that, kind of playing with those lines just a little bit and getting some plus money. I really do see the Kings winning, and this one being a lower scoring one. My only problem with that under is what if the Kings explode? So my book wouldn't let me parlay the under 2.5 for the Winnipeg Jets, but I do like that as well. The under 2.5 for the Winnipeg Jets and the Kings to get the win. So I think there's a couple of ways you can look. You can also look at Kempe here for the LA Kings for 2+ points. I think if he gets 2+ points, we still stay under that total. 1 could be a goal, 1 could be assist, or 2 assists. Hopefully he doesn't get 2 goals because other people are going to make some goals in this game for sure. Hopefully the Kings don't push this one over with 5 goals of their own, because I think it will be 2 for Winnipeg. But 2+ goals here for Kempe coming in at +290. You guys, that is it. This is also the last game of a road trip here for the Winnipeg Jets. They're ready to get home, especially only after putting up 1 goal versus the Sharks last night. Kings and the under, you're rolling with me there. I love it. Sabres first period over. Yeah, you know what? We can look at the Sabres and the Avs first period over. I wouldn't be shocked if that was a 2-1 win for the Avs in the first period. I think both of those teams come out highly explosive to start that game. We will do a fast recap, and then it's time for me to get out of here. I've got lunch in the oven. I made some spicy chicken strips, and they've been beeping since we started. So they're going to be kind of crispy, but that's a good thing. I like crispy chicken. Yeah, spicy crispy chicken. It should be good. Let's look here. The Pittsburgh Penguins, Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to take the Montreal Canadiens here at home for that beautiful plus money. Cole Caulfield, you know, we keep circling him for his points, goals, assists. Sidney Crosby on the other side. You got to look at Sid the Kid. The Boston Bruins and the New Jersey Devils. I'm taking the Devils here on the money line to be able to get the win. The first period over 1.5 at -122, and both teams to score at +168. David Pastrnak for the Bruins. I do think his points still come in over 1.5 points for him at +100. Tyler Toffoli +200 for the value for the anytime goal, and Luke Hughes. The point tonight coming in at +130. I love this game to go over that 6 or 6.5, depending on what your book has and what you're laying for juice. I think the 7 goals comes in this one. The Anaheim Ducks and the New York Islanders. Give me the Islanders to be able to get the win in an over game. So you can parlay the Islanders on the money line with the over 6, and I think you're going to be in a good situation for this one, getting some positive plus money. Brock Nelson for the points tonight, +340 for 2+ points for Brock Nelson. I could see it coming in. On the other side of the puck here for the Ducks, Leo Carlsson, 3+ shots on goal at +128. Alex Knorr coming in here, 3+ shots on goal, coming in at -110. The Buffalo Sabres and the Colorado Avalanche. I'm with you guys at first period over 1.5. I do think it's the high scoring one. I look at the Avs in the first period on that puck line as well. I think we got a 2-1 first period here. Cale Makar for the block shots over 1.5 at -105. Tage Thompson for the power play point coming in at +200. And Cale Makar for the power play point coming in at -110. The Winnipeg Jets and the LA Kings. Give me the Kings for the win here. You could look at them in regulation. I do like parlaying the Kings for the win and the under 6.5, bumping that total up to 6.5. It's coming in when you parlay those two over on FanDuel at +150. Kempe for 2+ points at +290. I think he should be solid in this game here versus the Jets. My favorite bet, Jets team total under 2.5 at -122. For their last game of a road trip and not able to score more than 1 goal in the Sharks last night, it's going to be a low scoring one versus the Kings, the defense, and Cam Talbot. But you guys, I got to go. Yeah, crispy everything. I got to get that chicken out of the oven. They're really nice chicken strips from Costco. Breaded chicken breast in hot sauce. Who doesn't love that? But yeah, you guys, have a great afternoon. I will see you back here tomorrow. We'll probably run it at the normal time, unless I'm going to be on Game Time Decisions. I'll let you know. So it's either going to kick off at 5 or 5:30. You know we've got a stack of games. Try to do it every day at 5:30, unless I'm going to be on Game Time Decisions, or someone has to do Christmas shopping today because I haven't started. So I am headed off to the mall. You guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that retweet button for me, and turn on those notifications so you know when I go live if you miss those posts. You guys, and also if you haven't checked out the Sports Grid app, go check it out. It has all the shorts, all the videos, props, and bets all over on the app, and it's completely for free. You guys, have a good one. We'll talk soon. Bye now.